Hey, howdy, good morning. We are going to be checking out some new board games that are hitting retail, specifically focusing on those that have solo modes. Apparently, I just got a job at Best Buy. Nice khakis and polo, Mike. And maybe we'll see if there's one of them that we want to take home and try out for ourselves, or maybe there's one that you want to try out. After that, we're going to be going a little more in depth into The Great Wall from Awakened Realms, focusing on the two-player and mainly the solo mode, see if that's something you would like. And then also show a couple games that were sent to me by publishers that you might be interested in as well. All right, so we're going to check out the new arrivals. We're at Cape Fear Games. That's my local game store. They let me have the run of the store from 9 to 10. I don't know why. So let's go and check those out, and we'll see if one of them interests us. All right, so this is, I haven't previewed any of these yet intentionally. Want to kind of look at it blind. Not the best excuse in the world, but it's adorable, Mike. I'm not aware. The DC deck building game, I doubt has a solo mode, because I have looked at it several times wanting to play it. I'll let you take a look at it there. Let's see. We've got 2 to 6 players. Yeah, that's one that's been interesting to me, but no solo mode, so that is not for us. I will bet you anything. Simon, they like to do big minis. Yeah, 1 to 4 players. All right, so we've got Cyberpunk, which had the whole debacle of its video game launch. I have not seen the board game iteration of this. Gangs of Night City, the board game. Let's take a look at the back of the box there. We're going to see what we got. So it looks actually like pretty normal size minis. $90, about right for a Simon game. So this is competitive too. It's not cooperative. All right. Well, that's one we can look further into. Now, how about Carvey here? This has got to be a Euro. Hans im Glück. Let's see. It says, do you love strategy games and planning ahead your next move? Then Carvey is for you. And this is challenging on the red scale. So this has got to be a Euro. 2 to 4 players. It's not for us. I sure wish it was. I can guarantee you Perspectives is not a solo game. Space Cowboys. Now, they do like to do one-player games. Nope, 2 to 6. 2 to 6. They're the ones that did... They didn't do Parks, no. I can't remember which one they did. Little series called Unlock. Perhaps you've heard of it, Mike. All right, Avant-Garde is definitely not... Oh, yeah. Avant-Garde is actually... All right, so this is a nice small box option. I'd like to throw those in. So $26, Avant-Garde, 1 to 5 players. Sometimes that concerns me a little bit. It's rare that a game is great for 1 player and 5. So let's see here. Take a look at the back here. So you're showing off your collection of avant-garde art, playing a sequence of cards by matching colors or numbers. I'm skeptical whether that's going to be great as solo, but I could see it in a group. But let me know if you've played it. Then now, Mad King Ludwig, you know I have the full deluxe version of like Colossal for Castles of Mad King Ludwig, where you can play solo. I think it's Bezier Games. Yeah, you can play solo and create your own castle. It's a tile placement, really, tile laying game. So, game designed by Ted Alspach. I have not looked at this expansion. It's going to be 1 to 5 players, but it doesn't look like an expansion. No, this is a standalone game. Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig. Go ahead and zoom in here. It actually looks like is it a roll and write? Is it a flip and write? Okay. I don't tend to be into those, like cartographers and explorers. They're not necessarily my favorite, but yeah, you're doing the same thing. You're building out a 4 plan. Oh, it's a flip and sketch. Okay. For $48, a flip and sketch. I don't know. I'm pretty skeptical of that. You let me know what you think, whether you would be interested in something like that. I'm just not super into flip and sketch, flip and write, things like that. I'm open to it. Anarchy Pancakes, not a chance. I know that. However, I'd love to play it multiplayer. Thank you very much. Pocket Paragons, that looks like... What is this? Pokemon stuff? That looks like I've never heard of that. Brian Mackay, how many players are you? 2 players. That's what I thought. Goodbye. Catan, Starfarer's Duel. I'm not even going to look at it. It's a card game for 2 players, but that's great. I haven't played Catan in 20 years. I would actually like to play it again. Now, French Quarter, I've heard of. 1 to 4 players. This one interests me immediately because I'm a sucker for art, and that is beautiful art. 1 to 4 players, $30 looks about right for the box. MCG in 25th Century, I don't have any games by those publishers. I don't see game design. Matt Riddle sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. All right, take a look at the back of the box here. Okay. Oh, it's a roll and write. Oh my goodness, people are going crazy. They love these things. But you know what? This one I will give it a shot because it looks beautiful. I love that artwork. So it's a roll and write. Okay, what are we doing? Flip cards and choose dice. Oh, that's kind of unique. There aren't often. Well, no, Yahtzee. Hello. I guess that is common. All right, street performers, wedding parades. We'll check it out. 45-minute playtime. That seems pretty long. But hey, that's a maybe. That's the first maybe. And Agricola, I know you can play as one. Let's see, Lookout Games. My main thing with them is usually their art. I don't love their art. But Uwe Rosenberg is a fantastic designer. So how many players? Hey, 1 to 4 players. You need the base game of Agricola. What makes this one different? $18. It's 168 new cards. Okay. Base game rules are made unchanged, so it just seems like more options with the cards. So that's possible, but I don't have Agricola yet. So maybe, maybe not. Okay, let's go check out. I think this is fine. Yeah, that's all Pokemon stuff. That's a whole other world I can't be part of. Let's check out the Kickstarters real quick in the back, see if there's anything new back there. Escape room games and all that. There are new games in here sometimes, but Kickstarter, this is a good time to mention the sponsor. So Cape Fear Games sponsors this video. 1,000 cheers and more for Captain Obvious, which is super cool. Cape Fear Games is in Wilmington, North Carolina. Obviously, it's a game store like this. If we go to, maybe we'll go over there. There's a gaming room over there where you can game if you like. You can buy the board games, all that stuff. They have a board game night, card game nights, all that stuff. But the benefit for you is if you would like to purchase any of the games that you see here, you can go online. The link's in the description. I usually pin it in a comment as well. And if you click that, then when you check out, just use the code BoardGames4One, you get 10% off, and if you're in the US, you get free shipping. So if you want like the bigger things, Kickstarter things with free shipping, that is all yours. Okay, so I don't see anything new that I didn't feature last time. We're going to be talking about the Great Wall. Oros, no, we've talked about that one. Of course, the whole Either Field series, so I think we're 100% caught up here. We are absolutely not, Mike. There are at least 3 or 4 games that you walked right by. Go check this side. Here's something new. Arborea. I don't know about Danny Garcia. Okay, so artwork's beautiful. Alley Cat Games. I've enjoyed some of theirs. And this is this a 1-player option? It takes me forever to find. Maybe you'll find it before I do. 1 to 5 players. All right. Okay, I'm interested. So we got worker placement, shared resources, and it's about overseeing the growth of a realm and its ecosystem. I am totally feeling that, okay? Use these resources to build and overlay land cards, crafting your own unique ecosystem for the creatures you collect. Okay, I'm not super into the guardian spirit stuff. That's not usually my favorite. But the artwork and the idea of worker placement and this flow right here, I don't know the designer. So I'd have to try it out. And I think that's it. We've looked at Lords of Ragnarok in detail. Mother Frankenstein, I don't think I featured this one. I don't necessarily want the whole collection. I actually, when I was at Origins, I tried to get one of these for review copies to bring home, which was a big hot fail, I tell you. Arcane Wonders was like, and who are you? But it reminds me of something like Sherlock Holmes Consulting Agency, from what I've seen, where you are laying out actual real documents and artifacts, which is what I really like, in order to solve some sort of mystery or secret about the mother of Frankenstein. 3 volumes. I would probably just start with one, but it's $100 for all 3, which is actually pretty good. Anyway, all right. Oh, look, it's my #1 fan. All right, that takes us through some of the new games. We need to decide which one do we want to take home. I'm actually going to have my cameraman, Candell, help me decide that. So we're going to go into the other room so we can lay out the Great Wall and look at that in a little more depth, see if it's something you would like to play. All right, let's go to the other room. Okay, it's not on the new shelf, but it's new to me. What do we got? Cut Nahora, the City of Silver. CGE game. Oh, 2 to 4 players, of course. Never mind. To the shelf with you, never to return. Into the darkness. I don't know where the lights are. I have no idea where the lights are. But this is the, in this darkness, maybe you can see me, maybe you can't. I'll find out when we look at the video. This is the play space, if you're ever in the area and you want to play here. Plenty of games in the library. I got to figure out how to turn a light on. Maybe. Thank you much.
Oh, you don't want to do a
Play
2-person?
I wish, but they are so much work.
Oh,
Those are like 8 hours of editing, and it's almost a 30-40 minute teach.
oh, okay.
It's a lot.
Oh, wow.
Maybe another time that would be fun. We can
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Bam! Teleport. And here we are. Costume change 2. This was a cool shirt sent by T-Post, and they just said they wanted to see me wear it. Big fan of clothes. If you'd like to see me wearing something of yours, just let me know. I have no shame. There's actually a full newspaper article on the inside, so you can look up T-Post. Really though, I should have said more on the T-Post shirt thing. It is cool. They do an actual research journalistic newspaper article. It's on the inside of the back of the shirt, so when you get it, you can read the whole article. It's the whole theme for the month, and then whatever the image is on the front. Am I looking at the I never know if do I look at the camera or do I look at myself? I'm gonna look at the camera. Anyway, that's what the design has to do. It's like a subscription thing you do each month. It's from Sweden or Norway. I should know this stuff. It's a cool website. Snoop Dogg. It was Snoop Dogg. I'm pretty sure it was Snoop Dogg. Was it? Oh no, Jay-Z. It was Jay-Z. Anyway, I should say more. Check out their site. And also, because who could do that in one cut? I'm wearing a medium. I should have gotten a large. I usually get a large. I was a little afraid, so it's a little snug. I still think it looks good. I would get a large. Get a size that's true to size. My cameraman, Kendall. All right, so Kendall, did any of those games, the ones that I featured that had a 1-player mode, was there anything that you would take home?
Not exactly.
Oh, the unfiltered honesty of our young ones.
Yeah. I'd say for the most part, it would probably be a mix between either the Catan game,
Yeah.
which I haven't played, so
Yeah.
that would be a first time for
Did you ever
everything.
play regular Catan?
No, never played regular Catan either.
Okay. Now with board games, what is your history? Have you ever? It's okay if you haven't. Have you played many board games beyond something like Monopoly or Clue?
Yes, as far as I've played games like Risk, I've played like Scrabble, I've played
Okay.
your average family games that you
Yeah.
play. So
Okay. Now, when you look at something like this, The Great Wall, what do you feel?
well, I think it's a chance to put like Sun Tzu's Art of War into action.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Okay. Gotcha. Did you end up reading that?
Oh yes, I got halfway.
Okay. Better than me. I don't know a lot of the history of it. But again, I actually would like to do a 2-player play with you, but it is probably a good 30-40 minute teach. This is really diving in the deep end. But I thought we had played a game together. We played Alien Fate of the Nostromo.
Alien was fun.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, Alien
Okay.
was fun.
Okay. All right. I think it's a good gateway one. Yeah, as far as the games that we looked at, if I were to take one home, none of them super stood out to me, honestly, to where for solo that I really, really wanted it. Maybe I'll look at the Kickstarter one, and I'll have to look at the titles of the games. I'll flash it up here. You're pointing to the wrong spot again. I'm always pointing at the wrong spot. You would think I would learn by now that this goes nowhere. It's always this. I'm going to put it up here somewhere, the one that I might go home with that interested me. I know it wasn't Castles of Mad King Ludwig because I'm not into it. Was the flippin' right that had all the colors and the maps and things, but I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it up here. Thank you so much, Kendall.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're going to learn about the Great Wall now. All right. Teleport again. But now, if you can watch and make sure that I sit in the center, and I might have you come back for these other 2 games, though. I'll have to use you more. All right. And the microphone's not in the way of the face. You can still see the game board?
Yeah, I can still see the game board.
Okay. All right. So here we are with the Great Wall. And this is continuing with the what is the name of that? Road to Retaliation series, where I am playing and reviewing, making a video of some sort on every single Awakened Realms game that I can get on the way to Nemesis Retaliation. We're almost there, actually. After this, I think The only one I have left to cover is Tainted Grail because I have videos of Lockdown, Nemesis, all that. We're off track. Oh my goodness. So the Great Wall. This is a Euro. Awakened Realms. As you can see, super cool miniatures as always from Awakened Realms. You've got these towers, the Great Wall that you're actually building up. We will talk about the pluses and minuses of that. But first of all, how on earth does this game play? Well, I have played it 2-player couple times, and I've played it solo 3, maybe 4 times, and I won my 2 final plays of it. So I do have, unless I played it wrong, it's always possible, I do have a basic understanding. What this is kind of historical. Again, I don't know a lot of the history of the Great Wall and fighting against, was it the, I'm asking my cameraman, Kendall, was it against Attila the Hun, or the Mongols? It was against the Mongols. It was against the Mongols. So what you have is the Mongols are invading over here. We're going to have invasion cards. I'll throw some pictures up there, I'm sure. We've got the Mongols invading, and you, as a solo player or multiplayer, are over here as the other clans. In this case, I'm Tongguan for some clan, and then you've got the Reed clan playing in there, as well as Kiju Shao. You are all working over here to try to build up these walls, because you start out with no walls, and defend against the hordes as they come in. At the same time you are working cooperatively, you are also working competitively to be the dominant clan that's contributing the most to have the most honor. You win the game by gaining the most honor points going around the honor track. There are these ugly little things called shame tokens because it's all about honor. We don't want to gain shame tokens. What they do is they are worth -5 points at the end of the game. If you still have them, there's a way to get rid of them. But also, they block you from placing soldiers. So whenever you gain a shame token, you have to put it under a soldier that is not used yet. So he would be like over here that you haven't put on the board. And you can't use them until you get rid of that shame token. To get rid of the shame token, you have to spend valuable resources. So the game takes place over 4 seasons. We're going to go ahead and start it out. When you start your first round, you actually start in the fall. But let's start with the spring. Okay, so in the spring, that's basically where you clear the board and replace things. So you move the time track up. The game takes place over a maximum of 6 rounds. The game ends immediately if all the walls are built. In a solo or 2-player game, you only have to build up 2 walls. This third one is blocked off. So for demo's sake, goodbye wall. And all of this is not usable. There we go. Game ends immediately if that happens, or if you run out of shame tokens, the game ends immediately. Also, when the time track reaches the end of that 6th round there, the game always ends. Anyway, springtime, you advance the time tracker up 1. You add new horde cards. You have to add more every single round. The time track helps you keep track of how many new invasion cards get placed. Also, you get to refresh the market for your advisors. Advisors are dudes that you can hire. You spend resources to buy them. You spend gold, and they give you permanent upgrades for the rest of the game. So every round that gets refreshed to some degree. Then comes the summertime. Summertime is great. It's a time of joy. You get all of your income. So in this game, you are placing workers in specific locations in order to generate resources like wood, stone, gold, and what they call chakra. I call it sapphire because they look like gems to me. But, you know, whatever. Call them what you want. You get these resources in the summer. Whatever you've earned gets given to you. You also do get to collect your resources when you place workers there. So you get plenty of resources. After summertime, I'm sure there's something else that happens in there, comes the fall, and that's where the real action of the game happens. So this is mainly a worker placement game. And what you do is you have clerks, a certain number of clerks. You start out with 5. You can buy 3 more if you like. You are going to play an action card first. You have a hand of 6 action cards. Every player's action cards are the same. When you're playing solo, the AI gets 6 action cards. They all have the same name, but they are modified to work for an AI opponent. All right, so you pick one of your 6 action cards to play. You place it down over here, and you place them in a certain order according to T order, which means the person at the top of this T order here gets to decide where they place their card first. Do they want to be the first, second, or third to take the actions? You get to pick. And then the next person in T order gets to pick where they put their card. Once everybody's placed, then you follow the directions on the card. It usually involves something like placing your clerks, so you can place them to collect resources, to build walls, or to hire soldiers, to hire an archer to place on top of a wall, or to hire a soldier to put out here in order to go out and fight against the hordes. Or you can, what else can you do? You can gain these one-time use cards that give you one-time use actions in order to help you, usually in battles. You get to do all of that during the fall. After you've set everything up, then comes the winter. And the winter is the fallout after you've decided all your actions. And you're working cooperatively here, even with the AI when you're playing solo. You're still forced to work together to some degree. Then comes the attack. So in the winter, the hordes attack. And they have on their cards attack and defense values. Their total attack value of a whole column is going against your defense value of your walls and your temporary barricades. Once you build a wall, it stays. Barricades, that's different. They go away every single year, every single round. But anyway, so this one, let's say they had a total defense value of 17. We have, or a total attack value of 17. I'm making it up. We have a defense value of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 21. We're good. We didn't get defeated. That's fantastic. If their attack value was higher, all the archers die, bunch of soldiers die. It's no good. It's no good at all, and you gain shame, most likely. So don't let that happen. How do you attack? Well, you attack mostly during the fall phase when you're placing actions. You can put a worker in the barracks. Boom, put our clerk in the barracks to hire a soldier. You take your soldier and you place it on a wound mark on one of the cards that you want to attack. Once you cover all of those wound marks, then that horde is defeated. Whoever placed the most of their soldiers on it gets to keep the card. It is worth honor points at the end of the game. There's more to it than that, but not a whole lot. It gives you an idea. Fall happens, you survive it, great. You go to the next year, and we are back to spring. That is how you play the game. So some unique things to know before I give my opinions on it about the 2-player and solo game. This is truly a 3-player game. All right, this is a 3-player game. So when you play 2-player, you use the Reed Clan General card as the 3rd player. They take the exact same actions every single round. However, they're a support clan. So whoever's at the top of the T-track gets to decide where they allocate their resources. So every round they allocate like two of the clerks or something like that. If you're at the top of the T-track, you decide where they go. So they are useful. They are a support to both of you to make it a 3-player game. Also, there was something I wanted to mention there when I brought that up about action cards during the fall. Usually action cards don't just give you actions. There's usually a line that also gives other players actions as well. So it allows them to do something during your turn. So there's a lot of juggling of who should go in what order in order to defeat the hordes, build up, and also maximize your points. In a solo game, you use the Reed Clan General as the 2nd player. They take the same actions every turn, exactly the same as a 2-player game. Then you have Qi Jishao. And Qi Jishao is the somewhat semi-intelligent AI opponent. They play an action card just like you do. They randomly flip one over. They have the same 6 you do, but they're modified to, complement the AI player. They're doing the same thing. They're competing for resources. However, you don't have to track anything of theirs except for their honor points. Like, they don't collect resources. They don't spend resources. None of that. All of that's managed with the cards. Pretty simply, pretty easy to read. What do I think of the game? I loved it. Okay, so 2-player, absolutely loved it. Solo, absolutely loved it. I love the worker placement and the fighting to get these walls up. The manipulation of the Reed clan competing with Qi Jishao in the solo game to try to be the one that tells the Reed clan where to put their pieces. I really enjoyed that. I do enjoy that there's some predictability. Planning in Qi Jishao, you know what he's prioritizing and what he's not as far as resources. Like, is he preferring lumber this round? Is he preferring gold? What is it? So you can either work with him or you can try to block him. All of that I really enjoyed. The negative, the downside that I noted, one little thing in setup time is the walls are beautiful. I love that, but you do have to take them apart and put them together each time you play. Where I would prefer if the box storage was designed in a way that once it's built, they could all just lay out flat so they could stay built. I would prefer that. It's not the end of the world, but it is, just a little extra time in setup and breakdown. The only other negative is that it is sort of a beat your own score. Oh yeah, you get to randomly. There are many different generals that you can play as, and each one has their own unique abilities. For solo, they're always going to be the same, but I do like that so you can play with a different strategy. Like one favors using gold as a wild resource for everything. Another favors having a constant flow of these one-use attack cards here in order to generate points and actions and all that stuff. So there's all kinds of different strategies. Another prioritizes using your advisors, things like that. But anyway, what I noticed playing with 3 different of these generals is that I was able to make a full lap around the AI opponent in my final 2 plays of the game. So I was over 100 points ahead of them at the end, which should never happen. I generally lose games. That's unnatural. There is a way to make it more challenging, and that is to start the AI opponent at 50 points ahead or 100 points ahead. And that would actually make it a challenge. I would struggle to beat them at the 100 points ahead. You can also add extra advisors to the AI opponent, which makes it more difficult early on in the game. Later on in the game, there's so many advisors they collect that it doesn't really matter if you add more or not, in my opinion. But early in the game, that does make it more challenging. I appreciate that, but I would like something like an extra card, an extra action card like Wingspan does, where you add the Automabon Society card to make it harder. I would prefer something like that other than just ramping their points up. So that's the only thing that discourages me from playing again. I absolutely will play again because I do love it, but I think solo, they kind of dropped that part right there with adding the difficulty once you figure out how the AI opponent works. Oh my goodness, I hope I didn't forget something. I hope you got plenty of shots. Let me show you, I'm probably going to bring Kendall back for this actually, show you 2 games that were sent to me that I have not gotten to play yet, but you might find them interesting while I work to get them to the table. So let's take a look at those.
Okay, so where do you want me to... Oh, you want it to be that way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Experiment and see if people are okay with that, then it's a little less work for me. Okay. What do we got first?
Expressions.
Expressions, okay.
Isaac Meyer.
Isaac Meyer, all right. So this one, let me tell you a little about it. I'm going to tell Kendall about it and see which one of these 2 he would prefer to play next. So we've got Expressions. This is not a solo game. It is from, I know it's from Isaac Meyer, Barnmade Games. There we go. Barnmade Games. They are going to send me a solo mode for another game in the future, but I still wanted to show this. How about you remember to read the very nice letter? They sent a super nice letter, Mike. So how about you read that? Okay. Hey, Mike. In this box is our first game, Expressions. We hope you enjoy playing it as much as we have. This is the first of many games we plan on releasing, and we hope to bring you along for the ride. Thank you. Thank you. I like a good ride. As a small company just starting out, we'd love your help building some hype around its release. I'm not good at that. I am not good about building hype. I am good at something. We know this one isn't a solo game, but we will be sending you a copy of Effortless soon and would love for you to try out the solo mode in that game. Thank you for everything you do for the board game community. Yeehaw. I love that. I love that. Expressions, March 15th, 2024. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to getting a play of it. This is a picture of it. Looks like some of the ones coming up pretty soon here. So thank you, Barnyard Games. Appreciate it. Barnmade Games. Barnmade. So it's made for travel, and this is actually a cooperative little card game where you are working to build harmony and you're trying to avoid agony. And the way you do that is each of the players has a series of cards in their hand, and they are trying to build, I believe, again, I haven't gotten the chance to put it on the table yet, but from what I read in the rule book, they're trying to get their cards of the same color in a certain order in order to achieve harmony. You do that by, on your turn, with the cards that you have in your hand, you get to either play a card on the table to leave a suggestion, or you can guess a card in another player's hand. And what you're doing is you're trying to, if you guess their card, you're guessing the color and number, and if they have it, they get to lay it down in their harmony line there. And if they're wrong, of course, then it's going to lead to agony. For yourself, you are playing these cards that have 4 different sides. We'll see if I can get a close-up picture of it. That has 4 different sides, and you are leaving one of them down that is going to be highlighting one of those sides to show a suggestion for what you need in order to achieve harmony. The game ends immediately when the deck runs out, I believe, and the goal is to have more harmony than agony. If so, you win. If not, you lose. And there is a 2-player mode, I believe, as well. But yeah, cooperative game. That is expressions. What else do we have, Kendall?
Body of evidence. Best served cold.
All right, so just looking at it, can you tell me what you think it is?
Oh, it's definitely a murder mystery.
Okay.
An autopsy game. I'd say this is a good game, recommendable for the individuals who want to go into the investigative field. This is a good training game to take by.
Awesome.
So, because this definitely shows you in depth of how individuals in this profession would go about investigating the body, investigating, the many different scars and bruises to help the investigators figure out the crime.
Awesome. We haven't read the rulebook, and he nailed it. This is Mysterious Package Company. Can't wait to play this one as well. You actually are. It's like a paper body that you are autopsying, so you can open the box and put some of the pieces up. But this can be played solo. It's a cooperative game, so by yourself, with your family, with your friends, whatever you would like. Similar to actually, you've played a few games. You played Sherlock Holmes Consulting Agency. Yeah.
So here you're issued an investigator pad. Here again, you have an alibi to go by. So I'll give you these.
We'll make this happen.
But also, you have a police badge, an investigator badge as well.
Which I'm thinking is the first player token. Maybe it's a clue, I don't know. But there's an actual body, like a body bag. That's what I thought. There's a body bag with the body. And I think you need scissors. You might need scissors to cut it open. I'm not entirely sure. But, yeah, that's the body bag. Oh, yeah, I see the body. You want to flip it over? They can see the back of the head. We don't want to spoil too much. So it's a full-on body autopsy. Okay.
Yep.
And then just show some of those files.
And not just that, but
big files.
You're also given a series of a couple of files. Evidence cards. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Thank you, sir.
I'm giving you so much.
So between these two, which would you want to play first?
Not only that.
Oh, we got more.
You're also given a final report after you begin to sum up all the evidence.
With a paperclip. Yeah, a real paperclip.
With a real paperclip, a pencil, and your third set of files, which you're also given. So your final report you're going to give after you've concluded all of the evidence that you've gathered and you investigated from the body, which then will lead you to the killer.
All right, I'll take it. So, which one would you play first? I'd like to play them both with you.
I would definitely play murder mystery.
Okay.
Because I love a good murder mystery myself.
I can see it. I can see it. All right. We have kept you long enough. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kendall. Everybody, this is Mike from Board Games for One and cameraman Kendall. I love you all. See you next time. Good job.
Oh, great. Thanks.
You want to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, smile. All right. Now make some other kind of... Okay, and then normal. All right, one of those is going to work.
Oh.
Now you can take it all apart. Thank you.
Yeah.